SOS, Meghan in emergency 911 meetings. Netflix executives summon Meghan's subscriber counts dipping. Netflix executives have reportedly been locked in emergency meetings with Meghan Markle and Prince Harry, following the public backlash. This revelation has been made in the entertainment newsletter The Anchor by an inside source. The insider began by explaining Netflix's requirements following Pearl's cancellation, as well as the dipping subscriber counts. According to the source, Harry and Meghan called an all-hands meeting. They were deeply concerned about the optics of this. Even Meghan wanted to talk to Ted Sarandos, co-CEO of Netflix, the source added before concluding. This claim comes shortly after royal commentator Danielle Welzer branded the couple completely unsuccessful in the US and argued that their novelty factor had worn off. Harry and Meghan might have titles and the Buckingham Palace Wi-Fi password, but that is not enough of a distinction for big companies to merely tip millions into their bank accounts for the chance to work with them. They have to actually do something to prove themselves, she admitted to news.com.au at the time. They can't just hope they can coast along on the whiff of a mothballed HRH here forevermore. After Duchess Meghan finally debuted her inaugural podcast last week, questions are being raised over whether her reported $26 million paycheck was worth it. Sources close to the former actress and her husband Prince Harry suspect the 12-episode Archetypes, a play on their 3-year-old son Archie's name, will end in tears for the couple, with scrutiny flooding in from all corners of the globe. In her debut episode focusing on ambitious women, the 41-year-old waxed lyrical with her longtime friend, tennis champion Serena Williams, about how she didn't know ambition was a negative word until she began dating her royal husband. Scrutiny flooded in about the 55-minute episode, ranging from Today host Ally Langdon describing it as just another way she can talk about herself, while the Times podcast reviewer James Marriott assessed it as almost entirely preposterous. Spotify must be left wondering if they've spent their money wisely, he writes for the British newspaper. Woman's Day has learned exclusively that 37-year-old Harry, too, is questioning whether it's all worth it. At first, he was meant to be a part of it, that's how it was sold to Spotify and originally promoted, says a source. So it's pretty telling that he's decided not to be involved. Coming up with 12 episodes littered with complaints about the royal family, which everyone knows that's what most people are tuning in for, is a lot of pressure, and a dangerous concept given they've been trashed for lying in the past. Harry must know there's a good chance they'll be left red-faced, here. He doesn't understand why she'd be so willing to leave herself, him and their kids so open to public pylons. During the podcast, Meghan sensationally insinuated that the palace forced the Sussexes back to work after finding out Archie's nursery had caught on fire while they were on tour in South Africa. It's shocking news, but is it really Meghan's truth? Questioned Harry's biographer Angela Levin. If Harry had his way, he'd prefer the kids weren't a part of this podcast, says a separate insider. After all, they did step away from royal duties to give the kids a more private life. With Meghan's latest Hollywood move prompting backlash just one episode in, insiders say Harry is bracing himself for the next 11 installments. Harry's worried about how it will all pan out given they've had some humiliating fails since they struck out on their own. And there are fears among their team that this could be another one. There are fears among
you.